Hi guys, I wanted to share my strategy with you for Terry's chocolate chip cookie recipe. The previous question asked you guys to take this recipe and figure out what we would need for half of a batch. So we needed to take all those ingredients and cut them in half. I'm just going to share my thoughts about how I approach the problem and just do a couple of the ingredients, not necessarily the whole thing. So we want to make a half batch, so it makes sense that we need half as much ingredients. So I need to know what is, for flour, I need to know what is 1/2 of 2½ cups. So I'm going to just draw a picture and think about it in pictures. I have 2½ cups of flour. That's my half circle. Sorry for bad drawing. And I want to take, here's 2 cups. I can cut that in half. And if I take my ½ cup and cut that in half, it looks like I would have 1 1/4 cups. So this is 1 out of 2. This is half of a half is 1/4. I know we've been working on the strategy to change this into an improper fraction and then just multiply across. I'm going to check and see if that works as well. I know that 1/2 times 5/2 is equal to 5/4, and then when I convert that into a mixed number, I know that that is equivalent to 1 1/4. So it looks like my common sense thinking and the math did match up. The second ingredient I want to look at is salt. I need 1 teaspoon of salt for a full recipe. I think pretty obviously I need ½ a teaspoon of salt for the half batch. So I know that because ½ of a half is a whole. If I look at my sugar for the whole recipe, I need to figure out what ½ of 3/4 is. Again, I like to kind of think about a model first. If I look at fourths, I need to figure out what ½ of that would be. Again, if I cut it in half, half would be like right about here. So I need to know how big this is. This is my halfway mark. It looks like I can use eighths and measure this out in eighths and say that ½ of 3/4 is 3/8. But again, I just want to check it with the algorithm. I want to know what ½ of 3/4 is. I'm going to use that multiplication strategy again. Numerator times numerator, denominator times denominator. Looks like my picture and the algorithm match again. 2 eggs, obviously we're going to cut that in half. Instead of 2 eggs, I would need just 1 egg. And my flour is 1 1/4. So whether you thought about it kind of just using common sense models, or if you use the algorithm, either way, these are the correct answers for the first few ingredients in your chocolate chip cookie recipe.